Hello, I'm Deb McKiff. I was born in Utah. I've been raised in Arizona and lived here most of my life. I consider myself a semi-native because I've lived here so much. And I love to read. I've always loved to read. I used to get in trouble because I read so much. I tease my mom about that because most kids are forced to read, and I used to get in trouble for reading too much because I didn't do my chores and I'd stay up all night reading. I didn't have any trouble picking out my top 10 favorite books. In fact, I could have picked a whole bunch, but here are my top 10 that I chose, and that they're not in any particular order. The first book that I chose was Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. The illustrations are awesome. It's just a great story. Who wouldn't want to be king of the monsters and then have dinner waiting for him when you get home? My next one is What Katie Did. This is an old-fashioned book. It's about a young gal who's kind of spoiled, really impatient, and she has a terrible accident that leaves her incapacitated and bedridden for over a year. And she learns patience and kindness and even service from her invalid cousin. This taught me a lot of life lessons, and it's a really good story. The next one is The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. It's a really fun story. It's got great illustrations, and it just is a retelling of fairy tales. It's a real fun book. The next one is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I didn't read this as a kid, and I really missed out. It's a great story if you just read it, but like Christ's parables, it's much deeper. And so if you really read for meaning, then you get a lot more out of it, and so it's an awesome book. The next one is Go Dog Go. My mom read this to me so much that I memorized it, and I thought as a little kid that I could read it, so I'd read it back to her. I read it to my kids, and now I'm reading it to my grandkids, and it's just a really great story. Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. This is a great one. It's got a great way to learn your ABCs. It's just really fun. I don't have the next one. It's from the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. It's a children's classic. It's about a young gal and her little brother, and they run away from home and they go to New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art. They traveled from there to meet the eccentric Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. She helps them solve the mystery, and I highly recommend it. It's a great story, and it's got a lot of mystery, and it's a lot of adventure in it. It's really awesome. My next one is Green Eggs and Ham. This is a classic, Dr. Seuss. It's also another one that my mom used to read to me. I've read it to my kids. I'm reading it to my grandkids. It's awesome. Along with Mixed Up Files is A Wrinkle in Time. They're not connected, but they're mystery and adventure. I also learned from this one that it's okay to be just a little bit odd, just a little bit different, and it's okay that you've got value and you're all right. It's another one that is a little older, but it stood the test of time, and it's a wonderful story. My last one is a new classic, a new favorite of ours, and it's called Father Bruce. It's about this grumpy bear who becomes a mother to these little goslings, and it's just hilarious. It's got a lot of humor in it. Adults will just be rolling. Kids won't grab all the humor in it, but it's well written, lots of great illustrations, and it's just really funny. So those are the favorites that I have. I'm looking forward to hearing about your favorites, and I'm looking forward to this class to get some more favorites. So I look forward to learning more about you and getting to know you better.